This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in partnership with Empire Fight Store. It's press conference day, the return of AJ versus Jermaine Franklin. I'm joined by Dmitry Salita. Great to have you back in the UK, mate. Great to see you once again. You spend loads more time over here perhaps than you do at home. So great to see you once again.
Thank you so much. I love boxing in the UK, love being here. I would want to say it's the return of Jermaine. As it is the return of AJ, it's also the return of Jermaine. He was just here a couple of months ago, put on a great performance, and we're happy and grateful to be back here.
What a fight this is. Like I said, it's the return of Jermaine Franklin, last out against Dillian Whyte in the UK. I've spoken to you after that fight. Many people thought Jermaine won that fight. Just moving back to that once again then, is that still the case after watching it back tons and tons of times?
Well, I feel like this fight is the unofficial recognition that Jermaine Franklin won the fight. Had he not won the fight, he wouldn't have gotten this fight, and there would not be such an excitement about the press and the boxing fans of the possibility of AJ having a loss. So I think that Jermaine showed that he can perform thousands of miles away from home and win in with a hostile crowd. Something, with all due respect, that AJ was not able to do in New York City on June 1st, 2019. This fight is really about trajectory. AJ's trajectory is on the way down, and Jermaine's trajectory is on the way up. With having a consistent trainer, having consistently performed in the ring on a high level, at the highest level, this is a very exciting opportunity for Jermaine. He's young, he's hungry, and it's going to be a great night on April 1st.
You said that AJ's trajectory is going downwards. Is that perhaps the best time at the moment to get and fight AJ?
No doubt about it. In the midst of changing trainers, coming off 2 losses, AJ, a great fighter, one of the best heavyweights of this generation, some historic wins, particularly against Vladimir Klitschko, one of the greatest heavyweight fights of this era, an incredible athlete for the sport of boxing. He's a very positive figure outside the ring. I'm a fan of AJ. I think he's fantastic, but I do think that he's not as hungry as he once was. We're all human, and he's obviously reached so many incredible goals and accomplishments, and Jermaine is still on his way and hungry for that, hungry for the world title, hungry for the fame, hungry for all the benefits that come with being a champion, with being a top athlete, and that's what's on the line. And Jermaine is definitely hungrier, I would say, than Anthony is, for sure.
The way you're speaking there as well, you mentioned obviously AJ's trajectory is going down, what he's done for the sport, etc. It does sound like retirement things if AJ loses. Could that be the case if he loses this fight?
That's not a question for me. But to say that is really to discount Jermaine, and to say that, well, Jermaine he's so not good that if he loses to Jermaine, he should retire. But really, I believe Jermaine is a world-class heavyweight and one of the best in the world. So far, by what he showed in the ring, he's second to Deontay Wilder in terms of an American heavyweight. And this is the toughest American heavyweight that AJ could have chosen to fight. Certainly with DAZN being present in the United States and the UK, having an opponent like Jermaine makes a lot of sense. And I really believe that Jermaine is going to shine very brightly on April 1st.
You mentioned there as well that in terms of the trajectory of Franklin, and you mentioned some names there. What is next if he is successful, or you would say when successful, against AJ?
Well, I believe a rematch with Dillian Whyte would make a lot of sense, and possibly the winner of Fury Usyk, or maybe a fight with Deontay Wilder. I believe that all the big fights in the heavyweight division, with this win, Jermaine will elevate himself to the elite level of heavyweight boxing, and with that, the sky's the limit. To have an American heavyweight from the Midwest, Saginaw, Michigan, suburbs of Detroit, have this win, get this opportunity is truly incredible. And for him to come back home and to have some big fights at home, to have a rematch with Dillian Whyte at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, which is home of the Pistons, and one of the best venues in the United States, would be truly incredible.
As well, just then now, you said this is possibly the best American heavyweight that Anthony Joshua could have chosen. What do you make of some of the negative comments, specifically on social media, that don't see Franklin as a test, particularly the UK audience?
I think it's fine. I mean, that's why sports is so exciting, because you have different opinions and different sides of the coin, so to say. But at the same time, there's a significant amount of fans that feel that it's a tough fight for AJ. And all the changes in his life, coming off 2 losses, having a new trainer, coming back to the UK, is is going to be a lot of pressure. So I believe in my guy. It's okay. It's okay that we have critics, but the truth shall set you free, and we'll see what happens on April 1st. I think that Jermaine is, from what I hear, is obviously not the favorite with the odds makers. April 1st is Fool's Day in the United States. I don't know if it's in the UK.
The same here.
Yeah, okay. So I believe that the odds makers are going to be fooled on April 1st.
I don't think he needs that amount of luck, to be honest. I think this is a credible fight. I think there are a lot of people in the UK that see this as an incredible fight. You mentioned there about his background and where he's from. There are polar opposites, perhaps, of these two. How much does Jermaine's backstory give him confidence and give him strength in this fight?
Well, we've seen it in the last fight. We've seen that Jermaine is able to perform in front of a hostile crowd thousands of miles away from home. And that is due to who he has in his corner. That is due to his upbringing, to his experience, and to his mental toughness. And that's going to come into play when he fights AJ on April 1st. I mean, that's going to be so important with having thousands of fans against him, to have the mental strength and the experience of having performed in the UK just a couple of miles prior. I believe that the last fight with Dillian Whyte, and obviously Jermaine's upbringing to get here, will play a big role in his success on April 1st.
And finally, just now, I was with Ben Shillon yesterday. We were mentioning fights for Tasha Jonas. There were discussions going around that perhaps it could be Clarissa Shields. Could you tell us if that's a case or not?
Yes, we're having discussions. Myself, our camp, Clarissa, Joe Gallagher, and Natasha are all on board to make the fight happen. It's just finding the date and kind of making the business work. But yes, I think that outside of Katie Taylor-Serrano rematch, that is the biggest fight in women's boxing.
Is it the most likely opponent?
We'd like it to be. I mean, obviously a rematch with Savannah is possible, but I do believe that in the ideal scenario, it has to marinate somewhat, and you have to build on a story a little bit for it to be the best it could be. Clarissa has some exciting things happening outside the ring this year that'll just increase her brand. And while we would do the rematch now, I believe the prime time for it is towards the end of this year, maybe early next year, after both of these great fighters have some wins and build the fight up again.
Finally now, just a quick one for me. You're over here so much. Do you ever wish you came and fought here once? No, you fought it more than once. You know, you fought Amir Khan in the UK. Do you ever wish you came and fought more in the UK as a fighter?
Yes, I love boxing in the UK. The boxing fans are so passionate and so knowledgeable, and the media attendance and all these press conferences is really amazing. And I'm a big fan of the sport of boxing, and every time I have to come to the UK for a fight is really a holiday. So I'm very grateful for, as a fan, first of all, I'm a fan of boxing. That's my driving force. So as a fan, to come here and to see so much of knowledgeable media, knowledgeable boxing fans, and to see in a mainstream broadcasters is really incredible, and something that we could take back to the United States.
Dmitry, thanks for your time.